Hello and welcome to Eye on Politics. It's another Sunday morning in which we are having to discuss deadly political violence in our country, except this time it happened in our community, in Dallas, early Wednesday morning at the ICE office along Stemmons Freeway. Authorities said 29-year-old Joshua John fired the shots that killed one detainee and left two others fighting for their lives. They said John shot and killed himself. No ICE agents were hurt, and the FBI director released a photo that showed one of the unspent shell casings had the words anti-ICE engraved on it. Federal prosecutors in Dallas said Johns had targeted ICE agents and had planned the attack for some time. We spoke with Governor Abbott exclusively Wednesday afternoon about the shooting while he was here in North Texas. Governor Abbott, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So your reaction to this deadly shooting at the ICE facility in Dallas, I know you called it an assassination earlier. Backtrack a little bit, called it an attempted assassination. Why is that?
Well, listen, first, it's horrific. Second, we had a shooter here with the intent to kill members of ICE. You remember one of the casing shells that they found said anti-ICE on it. So this was a direct attempt to kill ICE members. The shooter did not know, apparently, that he was hitting other individuals. So any loss of life is bad, but this is an assault, not just on ICE agents. This is an assault on the federal government, simply trying to enforce the law. This is unacceptable to see these multiple high number of attacks on ICE, on law enforcement. It's an attack against our country itself.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about is the fact, and you brought it up, this is the third incident at, attack, whatever you want to call it, on an ICE facility. Twice in Dallas, one in Johnson County and Alvarado over the summer. What needs to happen as far as, is the state pledging cooperation to help secure these federal facilities? And I know you've pledged cooperation with the investigation.
So Texas has been helping out ever since the Trump administration took over. DPS is working alongside ICE. They were there on the scene moments after this happened this morning. They've been working with ICE in the aftermath of these other tragedies caused by people who are attacking ICE members. The National Guard, they are deputized to help either Border Patrol or even assigned to help ICE. And so we have a lot of Texas of our Guard, of our police force, working side by side with both ICE as well as other federal government operations to make sure we're going to keep our state as safe as possible. That said, all of us, individuals, media, law enforcement, we need to double down on explaining that it's completely unacceptable to have these attacks, first on life itself, but second on our own government. And such hostile acts against our government must be swiftly and harshly punished.
Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson of Farmers Branch also condemned the violence in an interview with us.
It's just terrible. You know, this kind of violence, unfortunately, is clearly on the escalation. And it's the rhetoric that the president puts out on violence and getting the opponents and all the things that he's doing is just emboldening young men in particular to take violence into their own hands. You know, I think it also begs the question, on another level, is why are so many young men so lost? The young man that shot Charlie Kirk, the young man that committed this, assassination attempt as well. What's going on there? And I think it's something that we as a society need to take a deeper look into.
Senator Ted Cruz denounced the violence during a news conference in Dallas hours after the shooting.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop.
Democratic State Representative Rafael Anchia of Dallas told us he believes easy access to guns is an underlying problem.
The question I keep asking myself is, who are we as a country, as a community, as a society? Are we comfortable with the fact that we've got regular school shootings, that You have political violence, it seems like every month. That you have public officials being, like ICE officers, being targeted with shootings. And I refuse to believe that most Americans want to live in this kind of society. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? And my thought is, if you want to reduce the risk of the gun violence that's happening, it seems like every media cycle, every day, we have to be responsible in reducing the risk of this violence. You do so through common sense gun safety measures.
Our coverage of the investigation into the deadly shooting at the Dallas ICE facility will continue on air and online.